Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be playing a little bit of a bad arena combo, and by that I mean the game doesn't really like you playing it. So, yeah, I don't necessarily recommend you guys play this one, but it's a combo that exists in Standard right now, so if you're in Paper, then you can demonstrate an infinite loop, I guess, and win that way. I believe it is quite budget in Paper, not so much in Arena though. But today we're actually going to be playing a Gauntlet combo list. So this is kind of down with the Elf Ball strategy. I'm sure many of you have seen something similar to this before. However, we're going to be using Gauntlets of Light to generate infinite mana. So Gauntlets of Light is a 3 mana enchantment that gives the creature plus 0, plus 2, and assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. And the enchanted creature has the ability to pay 3 and untap this creature. So all we need to do is assign the Gauntlets of Light to a creature that generates 4 white mana or more, and we have infinite mana. So the main one that we want to stick this one on is Incubation Druid. So this is a 2 mana 0/2. If you adapt it with 5 mana, then you get to produce 3 mana on the activated ability there. As long as you have a land that actually generates white mana, you have yourself an infinite combo of mana here. But how do we actually spend that? Well, we have multiple ways of doing it, and it's kind of the... we've played this one similar before, but we did this one with the Wake Root Elemental instead. But the actual win con for us is actually going to be Leyline of Abundance, which is a 4 mana enchantment. If this is in your opening hand, then you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. And it says whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. So that means that Incubation Druid, when it is adapted with 1 Leyline in play, is actually generating 4 mana. So if you stick the Gauntlets on it, you can tap this for 4 white, pay 3 of that white to untap it, pay this for 4 white, and every single time you do that loop, you actually generate 1 mana additional, and that can go straight into the Leyline of Abundance. So this is a 3-card combo for infinitely huge creatures, basically, and inevitably infinite damage. You can also spend your mana on a Finale of Devastation as well. Double green and X for a sorcery speed. It says search your library and graveyard for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less and put it onto the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. If X is 10 or more, which infinite mana easily available, then your creatures get +X and haste until the end of the turn. And nothing is worthwhile if you don't have trample, so we're actually going to be searching out the Endraze Forerunners, which is hopefully not going to be in our hand when we need it. This is a big duder, a 7/7 Vigilant, Trample, and Haste. When it enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain Vigilance and Trample until the end of the turn. The Trample being the important part here, because that actually means that our infinitely huge creatures can suddenly get through our opponent's blockers no matter what their size is, I guess, as long as they're not infinitely huge as well. So when we go Finale of Devastation X10, we give all of our creatures +10/+10, get the Endraze Forerunners, which gives +2/+2, so +12/+12 for 12 mana, and Vigilance and Trample. And we go through with as many creatures as we have available. We should only be tapping 1 creature in order to do this infinite mana loop as well, so hopefully we've got 2 or 3 creatures left to go, but just having Incubation Druid here and the Gauntlets of Light means that we can actually have this as a Vigilant attacker. We can just untap it and attack him with it no matter what its power is, as well as obviously having the Endraze Forerunners coming in as a 17/17 trampling, Vigilant, and Haste. So very easy to get the damage through that way, but other than that, we're just going to be making some infinite damage. If we have more creatures than they have blockers, then our infinitely sized creatures are going to be good enough anyway. We also have Marwyn the Nurturer, who adds green equal to her power, so we can actually use this to add additional mana as well. Unfortunately, it does not add white mana, so you can only use Marwyn's untap with the Gauntlets of Light for as many times as you have white mana available, which is either through the Incubation Druid, the Paradise Druid, or having Temple Gardens, some Petal Groves, or 2 Plains in play at the same time. We have Stony Strength, which allows us to put a counter on a creature and untap that creature, so as soon as turn 3, we can actually untap the Incubation Druid using Stony Strength. So we pay the 1 or 2 mana, depending on the Leyline of Abundance, for the Incubation Druid. Use Stony Strength to untap it, putting a counter on it, which means it is effectively adapted, and that means it taps for the 4 required for the infinite loop, so we can go that way as well. Other than that, though, the deck is full of mana dorks. We have Llanowar Elves, Paradise Druid, Incubation Druid, as I mentioned, Marwyn, and Beast Whisperer says whenever you cast a creature, draw a card, so we can delve through our deck. Because we are a goldfish deck, we don't really want our opponent interacting with us, so we have Veil of Summer against the blue and black decks. It says our spells can't be countered, and our permanents get hexproof from blue and black until the end of the turn. So if our opponent tries to Thought Erasure our combo away, we can Veil of Summer to draw a card, and basically fizzle that spell. Or if our opponent tries to remove our combo, we also do exactly the same, get hexproof from blue and black, and swing through. Bond of Flourishing hits literally all of our combo pieces as well. It gets any of our creatures, gets our Gauntlets of Light, and gets our Leyline, or any of the lands that we might need to activate Incubation Druid. So Bond of Flourishing is the best combo enabler in Standard right now for this deck, which is pretty sweet. Also gaining us 3 life for a bit of resiliency. And that's essentially the deck, guys. Without further ado, I'm going to get into the gameplay. There's going to be a little bit of speeding up, and I will display to you why this deck is not particularly great on Arena, although I will show you how to bypass the downsides of this deck. If you do want to play on Arena, it is viable to play, although it is a little bit awkward. So let's showcase the deck, but before we do that, hitting that like button does let me know that you enjoy this kind of content and want to see more of it in the future. So if you want to do that, that would greatly help out the channel, and I greatly appreciate it as well. Without further ado though, let's get into the games, and I'll see you there. Okay, we're in, and we've got a Leyline with double Llanowar Elves. Yeah, let's take this one, actually. I quite like it. It doesn't have most of the combo pieces that we need, but a land ramp in hand like this one seems pretty good to me. I mean, do we even play Llanowar Elves, or do we go with Temple Garden tapped, and then just play Paradise Druid next turn? How fast do we need to be? Because I can just play double Llanowar Elves off of Paradise Druid anyway. So the only reason I want to play Llanowar Elves is if I want to play a 4-drop next turn. I guess theoretically there's a chance that I'll want to do that. Druid of the Cowl for our opponent, and we get ourselves a Furest. Okay. Well, Sunpetal Grove, and let's just play Paradise Druid. Leave Llanowar Elves open for Veil of Summer. You even have a fun little combo with being able to untap the Paradise Druid as well. If they go for a removal spell, we can give it hexproof by sticking a counter on it with Stony Strength, which is kind of cool. But we have a ton of mana now. We just need a reason to use it. Our opponent just ramping themselves. Okay. Looks like this Veil of Summer is going to be a pretty dead card. I don't see this being useful at all. Well, let's save our Llanowar Elves. Alright, might not have been worth doing that, because we're probably just going to draw a land anyway, but here we are. We got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next turn we can start naturally using Leyline, I guess. As sad as that sounds. I'm going for 2, because we can. And pass the turn. Yeah, this only gives you hexproof from blue and black. So there is that. Blue and black and uncounterability. And you only draw if your opponent's played blue or black as well, so it's really quite useless, unfortunately. Incubation Druid. That's pretty good. We can actually adapt that and make it quite the sizable creature, but a Shifting Ceratops is a problem. If we get Gauntlets of Light off the top, we have infinite mana. Thanks to the Incubation Druid. Because this will produce 4 mana and it takes only 3 mana to use the Gauntlets of Light to untap. Season of Growth. Could be into a fight spell since I've been hovering my creatures. No, just Barkhide Troll. Okay. And they get to scry. Really wish we could scry. So the best thing we have in our deck is Gauntlets of Light or Bond of Flourishing into Gauntlets. Let's just adapt. We're not actually going to block though, because 5 damage is a lot. And we don't want to lose our druid. And we win the game. Alright. So, Gauntlets of Light on Incubation Druids. We tap for white, untap. And this is where the combo comes into play. It's very long and annoying, but we have infinite mana now. Every time we do this, we net 1 mana. So unfortunately we have to do this 8 times before we can stick a counter on something. So, yeah, probably just going to speed this one up unless our opponent scoops the game sometime soon. We'll see. But making sure to always go for the white, because we absolutely can. You don't want the auto-tapper to screw you over, basically. So, let's get infinite mana. I'll probably do this until the game ropes me, I guess. And then I'll start turbo-clicking Leyline of Abundance. But once you actually get the hang of it, you go left, add white, right, untap, left, add white, right, untap. It's very hard to go wrong. If you hit the middle, you will adapt 5 of your mana, and it will do nothing. So you gotta be very careful with that. Stick a counter on everything. Keep going. We have showed our opponent our loop. We have infinite damage on 4 attacking creatures, actually. So we just need to get 18 damage divided among 3 creatures here. And do it again. Untap. Game will end in a draw, you say. Interesting. Well, let's keep going a little longer. And we will untap 5, 6, 7. We want to go a little bit longer. Just so we have enough to stick some more stuff on some stuff. Alright. Leyline of Abundance. Untap this creature. Swing, swing, and swing. Let's change the loop so the game doesn't think I'm being very silly. And then we'll do this during combat as well. Untap this creature. Add white. And yeah, we'll keep going. So apparently the game doesn't really like you making this loop over and over again. But it is an infinite loop after all. I think Arena needs to really seriously look at that, because that is a egregious error on the part of the game there, because I did have infinite mana and infinite damage, but the game does not recognize it. So this is one of those decks that you've got to be careful with, I guess, for that exact reason. If you're not vigilant enough, the game will end the game in a draw, which is unfortunate. I don't know if you actually get your daily win for a draw. I'm pretty sure you don't. I don't think anyone gets anything for it, so usually they don't actually make me play it out, so it is what it is. But as you can see, we could actually split up the combo from the main phase into the combat step as well, if you're just careful about it. But yeah, something to keep in mind. Let's go for the next game. Alright, we're in, and we got 1 combo piece. But no Leyline, which is always an annoyance. We've got the card that we never want to see, ever. So I think this one's just going to be a mulligan. 2 Gauntlets is basically a 6 card hand anyway, so throw it back. Triple Llanowar Elves, Finale of Devastation. I think this one we can keep. I'm going to keep the 2 lands, just in case our opponent's running all removal, and I think I'll go with the Llanowar Elves to the bottom. Not knowing the matchup means that Veil of Summer can be a dead card, but it could also be a very crucial card as well. So, land, elves, go. If we get to untap with the elves, then we have Veil of Summer open, which is cool. Alright. So, Incubation Druid, go. That's a combo piece right there. We have the Veil of Summer to protect against removal / Thought Erasure. Demir Spybug. Okay, we're going to let that go. So this does have some sort of surveil-based mechanic, which is, of course, where Thought Erasure comes in. So we know that they're running them. That's kind of a given at this point. At this stage, I think we attack him with a Llanowar Elves. I don't think we care about the trade here. I don't think they want to trade, so I think it's just a free point. And we just have to find our window where we can ley line and hold up and Veil. Interesting. Okay. And Sun Petal Grove. So now we can adapt Incubation Druid and still Veil of Summer, which is nice. I suppose we can actually get down Leyline of Abundance instead as well. So they go for a counter, we can Veil of Summer. Yeah, let's do it. So this also says your spells can't be countered, so if our opponent goes Sinister Sabotage, not only do they not get their Surveil, but we also get to resolve our spell and get a redraw. So this is just absolutely superb value right there. Can't be countered. Oh, they do get to Surveil, actually. That's the second part of it. My bad. But it's still exactly what we want anyway, for the most part. And we pass. So now we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. We can use 4 of that on a Beast Whisperer if we draw another creature. That's going to be pretty sweet. Then we also have Finale of Devastation. Alright. There's Thought Erasure. Takes Finale of Devastation, which is fine. Because I think the only thing we're finaleing for at this point is Beast Whisperer, and they've just given us one anyway, so this is a cheaper finale in my books. Alright, taking 3. Is that lethal? I don't think so, right? I mean, technically, I think it might be. We need to... no, it's not quite lethal. Because we still need to adapt Incubation Druids, which only leaves us with 2 mana, and we need the 3. I suppose now we could do the mana... So this leaves me with actually the 3 mana to... Let me just make sure it doesn't spend the wrong kind of mana. So if you want to spend the right kind of mana, you've got to go into the menu, turn off the auto tap, and then enter full control. It's very annoying, but that's the way you got to do it. And now I can untap this creature, tap it for white. I do technically have an infinitely huge Incubation Druid for whatever that's worth. Every time I do this, I get some more time, so I shouldn't really have to worry about the timer either. I do have to worry about my opponent having a removal spell. That's really about it. The question is, do I go infinite? I guess I should, because I can put infinite counters on the Llanowar Elves as well. Near infinite. The game will eventually tell me that I'm cheating and will threaten to kick me from the game, but... That's combo players. We are forever shunned in the Magic community. But yeah, this actually allows me, even if we lose the Incubation Druid, to make some very, very, very large Llanowar Elves that are hard to deal with for our opponent. We can even get down the Beast Whisperer, so we've got that as well. So we'll have 4 near infinitely huge creatures that they have to deal with. We've actually outpaced the rope as well. You can see it's gone, which is pretty hilarious. So I'm going to keep doing this until the menu tells me that I have to do a different thing, otherwise it'll be a draw. And then at that point I will play Beast Whisperer, And then I'll keep doing it, and then when it tells me it'll end in a draw again, I will stick some counters on everything. And then probably do something else. So untap, tap. I always go left to right. The center one will spend mana that won't do anything, since adapt only works if you already have if you don't have counters on a creature, which we do already have. So, yeah, I'm just going to speed this one up. Oh, there's the warning. Alright, so we'll go 2 more. Alright, edit the loop. Untap. Because it is looking for a loop here, and it's looking for a loop that is progressing the board state. As far as Arena is concerned, we're not progressing the board state, even though both you and I know that we have infinitely damaging creatures here. The game doesn't see that, though, unfortunately, so we've got troubles there. I'm going to untap and do it one more time. To the point where if I untap, I've got 8 mana, which is enough to spend here. Alright. I'll call it good there. If they try to kill my Incubation Druid, I'll continue the loop. But since we passed the turn, the loop protection thingamajig is nowhere to be seen. Now, if they've got something like Legion's End on Llanowar Elves, I guess that is awkward. Bounce this creature to my hand. Alright, well, you've done this to yourself. Going to put it there and we'll call it good. I don't have lethal, but I get to keep my rope this way. Alright, now they get to surveil. That's a land to the bottom. Not sure what they're digging for anymore. But they get their 7 power. I get my draw a card off of the Beast Whisperer unless they've got another removal spell. Just going for the blockers, okay. Well, that works for me. Alright, so let's draw a card. Another Beast Whisperer, okay. And I guess could just yeah, I guess we should probably just swing. They're not forced to block everything. They could leave one behind since I didn't go for my full loop. Obviously, if the game wasn't pressuring me, I would have lethal on all 3 of my creatures, so they get to keep 1 around. And go to 2. Which is unfortunate, but, you know, I got some 17/17 Line of War Elves, can't be upset about that, and I'm sure at this point, Dispersal, yeah, sure. Just bounce Leyline of Abundance and win. Cool. Cool. It's actually 2-0, which is very strange for this deck. But that's 2 people who refuse to scoop to the combo as well. So, it is what it is? Eh? Okay. We're in on the draw. No Leyline, but we do have all the mana docks in the world, one of them being Hexproof, which can almost guarantee Beast Whisperer down on 3. I think I'll take this one. This one's pretty good. Temple of Malady. Escape Shift, possibly. Alright, well that's the 3rd land, so we have guaranteed Beast Whisperer on 3. Short of them Thought Erasuring us, or something along that lines anyway. Divest, I guess, is a thing. But yeah, turn 2, Paradise Druid, turn 3, Beast Whisperer. Ooh. That's also quite nice. The Incubation Druid here being the infinite mana source. And there's Thought Erasure. Alright, well, goodbye Beast Whisperer, I guess. Probably don't want me drawing cards. Yeah. Seems fair. But we can do land Bond of Flourishing Incubation Druid, so it's not the end of the world. Ooh, Leyline of Abundance. Oh, I probably want that in play more than anything. Let's get that down. I guess maybe I could do Druid or something like that, but I'm a little afraid of like Cry of the Carnarium or something weird like that. I think they're playing Scape Shift, but I can't be too sure. Alright. So this now adds 2 mana. So we can play... I'm just going to play into the board wipe. If we lose, right? Let's do Marwyn, who adds 2 mana. Now she adds 3 mana. And we've got near infinite mana. If we find Gauntlets of Light, we do have infinite mana. Another Leyline. Okay. So there must be a line where I can get Leyline and Druid down in the same turn. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Well, we can. It's just we can't play enough. I'm trying to think of the best way that we can adapt Incubation Druid, get the most counters on Marwyn, and play the most parts of our hand out. Don't know if that means Leyline first or Incubation Druid adapt first. Because I've got to do that for 4 mana. Yeah, I guess this is the way to do it. So that's 4 mana. I could do Incubation Druid or Leyline here, which means this is adding 4 mana. Incubation Druids, pump Marwyn. Don't get to use that mana, but we do get to Bond of Flourishing, looking for Gauntlets of Light, and we did not find it. But I will take Paradise Druid, I guess. The more the merrier on this board, because we are making a metric ton of mana. If our opponent can't wipe it, which I don't think they can, then they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Okay. So this kind of looks like Sultai Escape Shift, and there's Field of the Dead just entering the field. So double triggers. Going to be hard to get the infinite damage done when that's the case. Especially in light of Yarok being a death toucher right now. Ugh. Alright, just grab the land, I guess. Play the land. Adapt here. Play Paradise Druid. Pump Marwyn. And pass. I think what we're going to need is Finale of Devastation on Endray's Forerunners so that we can get Trample. Quasi-Duplicate on the Cavalier. Yeah, this is going to make a lot of zombies. Probably getting another Field of the Dead at some point. So they get a land, which is 2 triggers thanks to Yarok doubling. Then Cavalier goes again, finds Field of the Dead, which is another 4 triggers. We do have some good blocks, I guess. But yeah, we are going to need Trample here, otherwise we're probably just going to get absolutely ruffle stomped out of this game. Even then, the amount of toughness they've got in play is going to be awkward. Another Field of the Dead, ouch. It's another 6, right? Yeah. And they just hit the 4th Field of the Dead. You lucky sods. I mean, they've got 15 cards left, so there is a chance they deck themselves, but I mean, they've got so much damage in play right now that it's probably highly unlikely, and it looks like they might be looking to Assassin's Trophy something. Is that what we've seen for their removal? Yeah. So that's a little awkward. See what the attacks look like. None at all. Going after my ley lines. Alright, well. Activate. Ah, we not got enough? Oh, there's some Summoning Sick 1 mana short. Awkward. Alright. Well, we actually still get a forest out anyway. I guess I should have tapped first. Because now it's still 7, right? Yeah, that was a punt. Did indeed punt. Alright, Bond of Flourishing. Show me something good. Endray's Forerunners. Gauntlets of Light is infinite damage. But it's not going to work because they've got near infinite blockers. So I just kind of have to go for the Endray's Forerunners here, I think. And I think we passed the turn. We're really just dead, though, unfortunately. They've got 44 damage here. Sad, but true. Maybe they don't all attack us. I needed this to be Finale of Devastation, I think. So I could give these all +10/+10 and bring this one in as well, so it'd be 17. Another 13, another 13, another 14, 14. That kind of thing. But not meant to be. Uh-huh. There's no way they don't just all attack here, in fairness, but, I mean, we're playing to our outs here, and our outs is that our opponent has made such an egregious error that they refuse to attack. Or maybe they get too greedy, and we find something that we need. Like, Gauntlets of Light, I think, will actually win us the game if they don't attack, as an example. Or in theory it would, if the game doesn't, like, tell us that we're being naughty and threaten to skip the game. You know how many land? We've got 10 cards left. Alright. Yeah, just short of winnable, this one. And all attack. So we block, we block, we block, we block, and we block. And we tap. Didn't even let me tap. But, I mean, it really doesn't matter. We're at minus 15. It is what it is. I don't know why it didn't let me tap there. Because clearly I could use it. Very clearly I could use it. But, yeah. Whatever. Alright guys, well, these ones are quite long games to actually record, so I'm going to leave this one off here. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for some more content in the future. This one, I don't think I would recommend to play on Arena, but if you want to have a little bit of fun with it in paper, you can absolutely do that. I don't think it sets you back too much in terms of monetary value, because I'm not sure anything in this deck is worth much in paper, so you might be able to make this one quite cheap. This actually could be budget, I'm not entirely sure. I think the Temple Gardens and the Sun Petal Groves are about the most expensive thing about this deck, so yeah, if you want to play in paper, go for it. It's not particularly great, but it's a deck. It's a combo deck that is what I believe to be budget anyway, in paper. But yeah, thanks very much for watching guys, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.